Welcome back to another episode of A Celebrate the Great. I'm your host, Nehemiah Davis, and on this episode, I'm going to talk about Clubhouse. So, Clubhouse is this new dope app. It's pretty much an audio-only app where you could hear from a bunch of different entrepreneurs, influencers, professionals, where they get on and give their various points of views on particular subjects and topics. On this particular episode, I want to pretty much give some of my views on Clubhouse. I also want to share with you guys how I was able to grow my following. I'm at about 19,000 followers so far on Clubhouse, approaching 20,000 followers. Probably by the time you listen to this episode, it may be much more. So if you want to follow me on there, my name on there is at Nehemiah, which is Nehemiah. So the dope thing about Clubhouse, I say this to my various friends, I'm like, I believe a Clubhouse follower is equivalent to like 100 Instagram followers, right? And what I simply mean is a lot of the individuals who I see on Clubhouse are about their business, they're about growing, they're about leveling up, they're about winning, right? So one of the things I suggest for you to do if you're not on Clubhouse, get on there and start tuning in the various rooms where you can learn from. But let me go ahead and break down some different things that I've seen that has working as far as a growth standpoint. So first thing, you want to begin to start hosting your own rooms. And when you're hosting your rooms, you want to make sure they're hyper specific to certain topics, right? So when you're hosting your own rooms, for example, ways to make, how to generate $10,000 a month with your business. How to sell $100,000 in ebooks in 2021, right? How to increase your recurring revenue, whatever the topic may be. And there's multiple ways you could do this. You can interview other people who, and the goal is for you to control the room. You can interview other people who are good on these topics. You can talk about the topics that you're good at. And the game is getting other people on the stage who can also add value and getting your guests. One of the things that we do when we're on there, we're constantly asking people to go ahead and ping and invite people to the room. So, again, you can build people in the room. So, again, the rooms max out at 5,000. But generally, you got to have a bunch of heavy hitters on there generally to get it up to 5,000. But the goal is for you to just get people in there and holding their attention. Like once people, Clubhouse, how they set it up is very addicting. You'll go in there for like 10 minutes and 5 hours will go by and you're still on there. And one of the reasons why everybody is fighting for mic time and everybody's trying to see who can add the most value, right? And what Clubhouse has done, it has essentially created a space where you literally can go on here, be on the stage with other experts and literally become friends, add value to one another, be a resource to one another simply because everyone is trying to I don't want to say outdo the next person, but everybody's in that room like, yo, I can add value, I can add value, I can add value. So one of the things would be dope for you is you're curating these rooms. So if you know various people in the Airbnb space, bring them up, host a room that teaches people about Airbnbs. If you're in the real estate space or know people in the real estate space, host your own room and start interviewing these people in the real estate space. If you know people in the e-com space, host your own room. And what this begin to do is one is going to position you as one, you're going to be a networker, but it also, I won't say it'll position you as an expert, but again, if you're on here, you should know what you're talking about, number one, right? But this will be a great way for you to begin to build relationships with other individuals because you are essentially giving them a platform. So it's almost like you're creating a room, you're inviting people, you're asking them to be a speaker on that room, and they're adding value to your audience. But that individual is going to remember that, hey, you brought them in this room, you're someone who adds value. And literally what Josh and I did when we started on Clubhouse, we start hosting rooms, and we start inviting different friends of ours, mentors of ours, friend-tours of ours, and we were really controlling the room very well, and they were new to Clubhouse, so we essentially gave them that tutorial of how this worked, right? We brought them in that room, allowed them to gain the audience, right? They gained all these followers because of this room we curated, but now they remembered that, right? And now you begin to do this with multiple people, adding value to them, but more importantly, you're getting your name out there and people can come to you as a trusted person. The next thing that I suggest that you also do in Clubhouse is you want to make your bio as impressive as possible. My bio is pretty bland, so I'm not going to I just whipped up something quick. But a lot of people are putting like this very impressive bio because you're looking to grab somebody's attention. Remember, the average human beings, their attention span is very short, right? So you need to grasp their bio with whatever amount of money you made, maybe the amount of people you serve, maybe whatever it is that you do. People are using their credentials very heavy with Clubhouse because unlike Instagram, you only can have a very short bio. Clubhouse, you can go ahead and have a whole paragraph. So make sure it's being very clear on who you are, what you do. And one other major key, this allows you to almost cross-pollinate audiences. Make sure your Instagram and your Twitter is connected, right? So essentially, when I connected my Instagram, I didn't connect it for a week. But when I connected, I started grabbing so many more followers that's coming over to my Instagram because they're now seeing me on Clubhouse, right? They're seeing a value that I'm adding on Clubhouse when I speak, so now they're coming over there. The next key to really monetize, not monetizing, because our goal wasn't essentially to monetize Clubhouse, but the next key to winning in Clubhouse, anytime you get on that mic, crush it. I tell all my friends, I tell all my peers, you want to make sure you're positioned as an expert. Don't come on here. I had one of my team members come on here, and it was like not a team member, but he does work for me, and he's good at what he do, but he came on there kind of like fluffy. It wasn't like giving true value. I'm like, yo, you go on Clubhouse and you flame your audience with value. Trust and believe if they like who you are, what you do, the amount of value that you offer, they will come back and do business with you, right? You don't got to try to hold out. Like when I'm giving the mic and they're asking me a question, I'm not like trying to hide any of the gems or the keys. I'm going to give you everything that I have in that very moment simply because I know that individual is either going to follow me or maybe we may just do business, whether it's a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, right? So what I would do, again, I would start scheduling rooms weekly. I would start popping in other people's rooms, and I will also make sure you're using this as an educational platform. Like you literally could go down the hallways and go look at the scheduled rooms and just see all the different rooms that people are having. And the thing that I've noticed has been everybody I know in the room, they're not holding back. They're giving you all the keys. But the real problem with Clubhouse is you'll become addicted to education and allergic to execution. You'll start hearing so many darn keys. You're like, yo, what to do next? So one of the keys I tell people to do, get a notepad, right? And on your notepad, create you a must-do list. So when you're hearing different keys, you know, oh, I must do this. I must do that. I must make this happen. I must make that happen. So that's another key that you want to do, a must-do list. And what this essentially is doing is setting you up to be able to execute on all of those things that you've been writing down. Like, you know you got to do X. You know you got to do Y. You know you got to do Z. So those are just a few ways that you can go ahead and win with Clubhouse. And again, once you get it in terms of monetizing, make sure one of your CTAs is sending a person to your website or sending them to your direct message DM. So again, I just wanted to share some keys and some insight on Clubhouse, some different things you could do right now to get your profile popping and to grow your following, right? So again, add value, be a resource, go ahead and curate your own rooms and just really be on it heavy right now, because right now the algorithm is basically like you can get as many followers as possible. It's not like you got to do paid ads. They're not monetizing the platform yet right now. So it just gives you the opportunity to go ahead and run your following up. Like, again, I'm at 19,000 followers less than 30 days. I probably could be a lot more if I've been spending more time on it. But again, I just wanted to share and break down some of those keys that I think could be super duper helpful for you. So again, thank you guys for tuning in to Accelerate the Great. Hope you guys got a lot of value from tuning in this particular episode. Talk to you guys on the next episode. Let's get it.